Everyone, it's time for another battery comparison between the iPhone 16e, the Galaxy S25, I can't even speak, iPhone 16, Google Pixel 9 Pro XL, and the iPhone 15. Now, all these phones are on their max brightness right now, so they are on the max brightness, and all the applications are cleared out in the background as well. Now, whatever I do on one phone, I'm going to do on the other as well. So they're going to be all, if I open an app on one, I'm going to do it on the other one as well. And so we're just going to let them kind of drain out and die out and see which one's the better one. Now, I've done a battery comparison before. My iPhone 16e was able to outperform my iPhone 16 and my iPhone 15. So I'm assuming the 16e is still going to be better than these two phones. I guess we'll see. I have updated all these phones, so some of the updates could have changed some stuff. But also, the Galaxy S25 and the Pixel 9 Pro XL, I've tested these phones separately, and there could have been some other issues going on too in terms of I was expecting these to do better and they didn't. So we're going to have to wait and see what happens. So for the first hour, I will just keep these on their main displays, and I'll just kind of let them just sit out and die out and see what happens from there. I'll have to play a video in the background so that these two phones don't die out. And then I'll check back in about another hour or so, and we'll basically see where we're at from there. So let's check back in about another hour and see where we're at. So we are now at the 1 hour mark, and all I literally did was just have this YouTube video playing in the background of a countdown timer. So nothing super crazy. Now you can see that we are going to be at various battery lives on all these already. So on my iPhone 16e, we are at 97% for literally just being on this main display. My Galaxy S25, I know you can't really tell, but it's around 96%. The iPhone 16 is at 99%. The Pixel 9 Pro XL is at 92%. And the iPhone 15 is at 93%. So far out of all of them, the Pixel 9 Pro XL is actually doing the worst. The iPhone 15 is in second to the worst. I don't know why I'm doing it that way. The iPhone 16 is number 1. These two are close, but the iPhone 16e is in number 2. Galaxy S25 is coming up in third, and so on and so forth. So we'll go ahead and let them come back on their main display for a little bit of time as well, and we'll check back in about another hour or two, and we'll see where we're at that point. So we are at the 3 hour and 22 minute mark. I know, a random thing, but I had to go and do something. But we're back now. Again, they've all just been on their main screens for the last couple hours. 75% on the iPhone 16e, 85% on the Galaxy S25, very surprising there. iPhone 16, 80%. Google Pixel 9 Pro XL, we are at 66%. And the iPhone 15 is at 65%. So once again, we are at varying battery lives yet again. Still, the iPhone 15 is doing surprisingly not the best. The Galaxy S25 is doing really good right now. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to load up Temple Run 2. Very basic game. It's not that intensive of a game. I think everyone knows this game by now. So I'm going to go and load this game up. We'll check back in about another hour after me playing this game on here for an hour, and we'll basically see where we're at that point. So only like 30 minutes ended up passing, but I did kind of want to give a small tiny bit of an update just because just kind of, do these check-ins to kind of make up for me being absent. So my iPhone 16e is at 68%, my Galaxy S25 is at 79%, my iPhone 16 is at 74%, my Google Pixel 9 Pro XL is at 57%, and the iPhone 15 is at 57%. So these two are tied. The S25 is still in the lead. The iPhone 16e is behind the iPhone 16 by quite a bit, so maybe the newer updates kind of hurt the iPhone 16e, not really too sure. But we'll check back in about another hour from the same type of gameplay, and we'll see where we're at. Alright, so we are now at the 5 hour mark. Time is just flying by. As you can see, we are at varying battery lives once again. So my iPhone 16e is at 55%, my Galaxy S25 is at 71%, my iPhone 16 is at 64%, my Pixel 9 Pro XL 45%, and then the iPhone 15 at the end 44%. So the 15 right now doing the worst still. Well, it kind of goes back and forth a little bit between these phones. I'm not seeing anything super insane. I am seeing that for the most part, the Galaxy S25 surprisingly still being at the front was surprising to me. I want to say the S25 might end up outlasting these other phones too, but I thought the iPhone 16e would be the one that would last the longest. And it's looking like there's a pretty big discrepancy between these two devices, the 16 and the 16e, but that's how my last comparison went, so we'll go and let these run again for another hour or so, and we'll check back in and we'll see where we're at. Another hour has passed and time is just flying by. It's kind of crazy. Hopping out of all these, you can kind of see where we're at. The iPhone 16e is at 42%, Galaxy S25 61%, iPhone 16, just standard 16, is at 54%, Pixel 9 Pro XL is at 31%, and my iPhone 15 at the end is at 30%. So the 15 still doing the worst, Pixel 9 Pro XL doing the second to the worst, and the Galaxy S25 still doing the best. And it's kind of crazy the difference between the iPhone 16 on the latest version of iOS versus the iPhone 16e. Like the 16 is doing much better than the 16e. So we'll check back in another hour and see where we're at. So another hour has passed. So they were all on Temple Run 2. Now you can see we are at varying battery lives again. My iPhone 16e is at 29%. My Galaxy S25 is at 51%. Think about the difference in the battery life there right now. It's crazy. My iPhone 16 is at 43%. My Google Pixel 9 Pro XL is at 17%. And then my iPhone 15 is at 16%. So right now, as of this point, we're still in this kind of situation where the Galaxy S25 is number 1. The iPhone 16 is number 2. The 16e, which was supposed to be giving me better battery life than this phone, is not giving me that great of battery life. There's like a 14% difference there. And then the Pixel 9 Pro XL is second to last, and then the 15 is in last place. So I'm kind of thinking that the iPhone 16e has the highest likelihood of probably not lasting that long compared to the 16, even though on Apple's website, this one's supposed to be worse than this. And I just did a battery test where this one was better than this one. So I'm just really confused. I think there's updates that are just fixing this or making it weird now. But let's check back in about another hour and see where we're at. So now we are at the 8 hour and 30-minute mark. I forgot to check in at 8, but these two phones were basically dead within the 8:03-minute mark for the iPhone 15, and the Google Pixel 9 Pro XL was dead at 8 hours and 21 minutes. So last it ended up lasting a little bit longer than the iPhone 15. With these two phones right here, you can see if we just go ahead and hop out, the iPhone 16e is at 12%, my Galaxy S25 is at 37% still, and my iPhone 16 is at 27%. So you can see for some reason, I have no idea why in this particular test, now my iPhone 16 is doing better than my iPhone 16e. On exactly the same test, these two phones are basically brand new. Basically all these phones are brand new, except for the 15 maybe. So it is very interesting how this is kind of playing out. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and let them play out a little bit longer. I'm sure the 16e will end up dying very soon. And then we'll still have these two phones at the end, probably within the next hour or so. And we'll see where they're at. So we are now at the 9 hour and 26-minute mark. These phones are still going for it. And you can see, I mean, my iPhone 16e is literally about to die here. It's at 1%. My Galaxy S25 is at 26%, 28%. And my iPhone 16 is at 17%. So I genuinely don't know what happened with my iPhone 16 and my Galaxy S25. I don't know why these phones are so different now, because before this phone was pretty much doing much better. But now this one was doing better, this one was doing worse. Now it's like flipped. So I will check back in about a few minutes. This one's probably going to be dead, and we'll basically go from there. All right, we are now at the 10-hour mark, and the iPhone 16e did end up dying at the 9 hour and 31-minute mark, which is very interesting. My Galaxy S25 is still at around the 22% mark, and my iPhone 16 is at the 12% mark. I'm going to have to do more research on this because there are a lot of various factors that are changing all over the place now, because these two are very surprising to me because I was not expecting the 16 to do better than the 16e, whereas on my last test, the 16 was doing worse. So I would assume in the next hour, the iPhone 16 is probably going to end up dying, and then we'll probably get a closer test on to see which one is the longest lasting one here. We're now at the 11-hour time frame, which is pretty crazy. I was not expecting it to last this long. The 16e has been dead for a while. The iPhone 16 is about to die. The Galaxy S25 is at 12%. So pretty insane results here we've pretty much gotten. I'm pretty sure the iPhone 16 is about to die in like about another 10 minutes. So I'll have my closing thoughts around then when this phone officially dies. So it actually ended up dying literally in a few minutes after I even ended that video. And finally, the Samsung Galaxy S25 died at the 11, or the iPhone 16 died, but the iPhone 16 died when the iPhone 11 had 11%. So what did we learn? Basically, the iPhone 16 for some reason did much better in this battery comparison than the iPhone 16e. The Pixel 9 Pro XL died a little bit faster than or a little bit after the iPhone 15, but ultimately, I'm actually pretty surprised about the iPhone 16e because I thought it was going to perform better and it didn't. So I would probably say if you're going to get an iPhone 16e, if you update it, you're probably going to be getting a little bit of a weirder situation because it's not going to be lasting as long as something like an iPhone 16. Although my tests did demonstrate before that the iPhone 16 didn't last as long as this iPhone. I did have the flashlight on inside of those tests, so maybe that has something to do with it. But even then, you would expect it to be better in every single way, and that's not what ended up happening. The Galaxy S25 is the true champ here. That phone is definitely going to be giving you the best battery life out of all these devices. So, for my basic tests, that's basically what I'm seeing. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.